Bruh! Alright. What's up, guys? It is Grim Whisper. And I am reading my book again. And I'm hiding from my socks. Yes, it's chapter 1. Ooh. Hey Trace, can you push the cushion back?
Yeah,
just do it now, please.
Yeah, jeez.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope you liked chapter 1. Whoa, like that. In New York, I'm in New York. Alright, again, this book doesn't really start until chapter 4. Okay? Oh, the first arc is crazy though. It's maybe my favorite arc to write was definitely the last. But I'll tell you all my opinions on my book when the book is finished, okay? Let's start. Chapter 1. Miyamoto Kurosaki. The moment was a blur. A woman was being fondled by a drunk man in the middle of the night. Akira had been walking home when he saw the man and woman. The woman tried to push him away, but couldn't get him off. The student, Akira, broke his usually calm demeanor to stand up to the man. "Hey, you ugly rapist! She told you to get away, so back off!" "What do you know? You're just some stupid brat. What are you gonna do anyway?" the drunk man asked. Akira punched the man in the nose, causing him to stumble backward, but a wall caught him and the man slid to the ground. "You stupid brat! I'll sue!" Akira was arrested by the LAPD and given probation. His parents wanted nothing to do with his troubles and sent their son to live out his probation in Japan with a friend of his mother's. Months after the LAPD arrest, Akira rode the subway, quietly sitting with the many men and women of Japan. "Are you serious? A mental shutdown?" a girl asks. Akira was lucky to have learned Japanese as second language. Most people spoke English and Japanese, in Japan, but he still noticed that some still spoke Japanese. "It's the truth, I swear." To a person, though, that's gotta be a joke. You're really letting that occult stuff get to you. When he got off, he began to walk. He stared down at his phone, paying not very much attention to the people around him. "Jeez," he says to himself as he looks up to the people covering the streets as they walked. Sorry. "This is definitely not America." In the middle of Akira's map app, a strange red icon appeared on the screen. It grew large and covered the entire screen. "Come on, stupid phone," Akira says to himself as he frantically taps on the icon. His surroundings slowed to a complete stop, leaving him scared. A fiery blue silhouette glowed in his non-prescription glasses. Inside of the fire was himself with shiny golden eyes and a smirk on his face. Time returned to normal, and the icon has shrunk down to its normal size. "I need to get rid of this thing." He drags the app to the trash can on his phone and continues to walk. He gets off another subway and continues to follow the directions on his phone. It led him to a narrow street that was almost an alley. Akira was able to find an alley where a small apartment was. "You have reached your destination," the phone buzzes. The teen buzzes the bell, but no one responded. Okay, I'm going to pause reading it real quick. This is really important. This book actually takes place in 1996. But the phones, the technology is today's technology. But technically it's in 1996. It's an alternate 1996, okay? Keep that in mind. It comes into play. Okay, time to continue. Oh! There was a gate outside the apartment with a nameplate that read, Miyamoto. The owner of the apartment and the man that took Akira as a favor to the boy's parents was Miyamoto Kurosaki. Akira knew nothing of Miyamoto and hoped he wasn't too bad. "Miyamoto is not home right now, son." At this hour, he's probably still at the cafe. The Kobe is back down the street a little ways if you need to find him, a mailman explains. Oh, thank you for telling me, Akira says. He flashes a polite smile before shuffling away. The Kobe wasn't very far away, but it was fairly hidden, tucked between two buildings. The cafe was red, making it stick out a little more than the gray buildings. A public transit bus was driven down an opposing lane with its customers still inside. The citizens cannot live in peace if this behavior continues, a newscaster reads while the cafe owner reads a newspaper. Oh, how very frightening, an old man sighs. What could be going on? Didn't something similar just happen the other day? An old woman asks. Vertical, a shellfish used for farming pearls. The owner says to himself. Excuse me, Mr. Miyamoto Kurosaki? Akira asks. The man looks up and turns to the young man at the entrance of the shop and says, I almost forgot that you were coming today. Alright, we'll be going. The payment is on the table. Delicious as usual, Kurosaki. The old man says, shuffling out with the woman that sat across from him. Thank you for coming, the owner says. When the bell jingles, he lets out a heavy sigh. 4 hours just for a single cup of joe? He suddenly remembers the young man before him, having been lost in his problems. So you're the problem child, right? Akira Kurusu, sir. Right. You seem to already know, but I'm Miyamoto Kurosaki. You will be in my custody over the next year of your probation. I was wondering what kind of unruly kid would be coming to my doorstep, but it's just you, huh? Yeah, just me. If you don't know, I only took you in because your parents thought you would be too much of a pain to deal with on probation, and I just happened to owe your folks a few favors. And I thought you care any. Come on, I'll show you your room. Miyamoto took Akira to the back of the restaurant and up the stairs into a dirty and dusty attic. Miyamoto could see that Akira was revolted by the room, but did not show any signs of caring. This is my room? Well, I can't take you home, so this is the best I can do. I'll bring you some sheets for your bed. The bed was a simple mattress with a metal frame. It lacked any pillows, blankets, or sheets. When the man returned and made Akira's bed, he spoke up again. It's on you to clean this place up. I'll be locking the building up every night. You'll be all alone, but just don't do anything stupid, alright? I can throw you out if you start causing me any trouble, Miyamoto says. I don't plan to. I swear, I'm a good kid, Akira says. If you say so. Now, I've got a general understanding of your situation. You saw a man forcing himself onto a woman while walking home. You clocked him in the face, and he sued, right? Miyamoto asks. Akira nods. Well, that's exactly what you get for sticking your nose into two adults' business. I heard you got him pretty good. Holmes broke his nose. Now that you got a criminal record, your high school doesn't want you around. And it looks like your parents don't either. Still, it's a little too much to send your kid out of the country for a simple assault. I guess the court didn't care much since you're here. You could have been a real pain in the butt, kid. Way to make me feel better about all of this. It's best you don't talk about anything unnecessary. I own a restaurant, if you couldn't already tell. Behave yourself. As long as you're on good behavior for the year, your probation will get lifted, Miyamoto explains. I don't plan to cause any trouble here, Akira promises. It's not like I care, but if you cause any trouble, you're getting sent straight to juvie. Anyway, I have to get you registered at Cram Academy tomorrow morning. We'll go in, introduce ourselves, and leave. You're lucky they're taking you in under the circumstances. What a waste of my Sunday, he sighs. Even under probation, I still can't escape from school, Akira thinks. Your luggage is in the box behind me. I'll see you tomorrow morning. You'll have to be up and early, Miyamoto says before going downstairs. That's all I get? A cardboard box of clothes and necessities? Thanks, Mom and Dad. I would actually like something that actually matters. Maybe a note. I hate them, Akira sighs. He took off his blazer, leaving himself with white short sleeves, with a white short sleeve shirt and jeans. With some free time on his hands, he had nothing better to do. He starts cleaning his room. Miyamoto comes upstairs while Akira is shoving his box of belongings onto a shelf. The cafe owner seemed confused. What the heck is going up on? What the heck is going on up here? I kept hearing thumps and loud noises. Sorry, I was just cleaning is all. Was it a little loud? No, I don't care. You know, this place doesn't look too bad now, Miyamoto says with an approving nod. I know, it's actually kind of cozy up here now that it's clean, Akira says. Living in the attic wasn't starting to bother him so much anymore. Well, I'm going home. I'll close up so that you can get some sleep. Remember, we're getting up early tomorrow. Got it? I understand. Thank you, Akira bows. The young man follows his caretaker's advice, changing into a shoulder-length black shirt and an emerald green sweatpant. Arrest, trial, criminal record, Akira says, relaying the night like he had done it every night since it occurred. I had to do it. I just couldn't let it happen. It was almost 7:30 when he was walking home from his studies at the local library. He was walking down an alley whenever he heard a man. Just get in the car, he shouted. Stop it, the woman shouted. Akira began to speed up his walking. How dare you cross me? Stop it! Let me go! Akira began to sprint toward the shouting, running through the empty street. Don't give me that crap. But please stop, you're hurting me. What a waste of time. You think you're causing me trouble? Just get in the friggin' car. Hey, bald rapist. I'll call the police. Call them. Every single one of those pigs are my homies. They won't take you seriously. Akira had already called the police while the woman was struggling. Get in the car now! Incompetent fools like you need to keep your mouth shut and follow where I steer my country. The man did not seem to be from the States. Hey, rapist. She told you to get away, so back off! What do you know? You're just some stupid kid. What are you going to do anyway? The drunk man asked. Then Akira punched the government official in the face. He was arrested and charged with assault. Akira sighs, but still doesn't regret his decision to attack the man. If anything, he was glad he made that decision. They began to doze off when his pocket buzzes. He takes the phone out of his pocket to see the eye icon again. You again? Whatever, he says, deleting the app. He falls asleep and rests soundly until the muffled smack of a metal bar rang in his ear. The sound became less muffled as time went on and eventually grew so loud that it jolted Akira awake. When he opened his eyes, he was no longer inside the Kobe Cafe attic. Now he was in a prison cell, a black and white striped uniform clinging loosely to his body. His hands were chained together, limiting his movement. He sits up over the edge of the bed, rubbing his temples. The giggle of a little girl echoes through the cell, causing the prisoner to turn his head toward the source. Two almost identical little girls appeared on the other side of the bars. They both wore police uniforms and eye patches on opposite sides. The one with the eye patch on the left eye stood on Akira's left and had a long ponytail. The other, standing on the prisoner's right, with her right eye patch, wore it in two hair buns. The young man stood and stepped toward them. His footsteps felt heavy. His legs were attached to a ball and chain, but allowed him to go as far as the cell door. Who are you? Akira asks. The girls step aside and reveal a man sitting alone at a desk. His appearance was unsettling. He was balding with white hair falling from the back of his head. His ears were pointed and his nose was cartoonishly long. His grin was wide and his eyes were irritated and looked like he hadn't blinked. He wore a suit and white gloves with long fingers. "Trickster, welcome to my velvet room." His voice was unfittingly deep. Akira shakes the bars violently, but of course nothing happened. "So you finally come too, inmate." "Ha! You finally come too, inmate!" It came from the girl on his right and sounded aggressive. "The you in reality is fast asleep." The other voice was similar, but came out more soothingly from his left. "You are experiencing this as a mere dream. You are in the presence of our master. Stand up straight," the aggressive one shouts, hitting the cell with the police baton. "Welcome. We are delighted to make your acquaintance, young man. This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. It is a room that only those bound by a contract may enter. I am Igor, the master of this place. Remember it well." "What are you talking about? Why am I here?" Akira demands. "I summoned you to speak on important matters. It involves your life, still. This is quite the surprise. The state of this room reflects the state of your own heart. To think that it would be a prison, of all things. You truly are a prisoner to your own fate. In the near future, there is only ruin awaiting you," Igor says. "Ruin?" "The end of all. There is, however, a means to oppose this fate. You must be rehabilitated toward freedom. That is your only path to avoiding ruin. Do you have the resolve to challenge the distortion of your world?" "If it means avoiding ruin, then yeah, I guess." "Very well. I'll be observing your rehabilitation, whatever, how I say it." The girls take their places, standing in front of the door toward Akira. "Pardon me for not introducing them. To your right is Caroline. On your left is Justine. They serve as wardens here." "Try and struggle as much as you want," Caroline shouts. "Our duty is to protect the inmates. We are also your collaborators, as long as you are obedient," Justine says. "Their role will be explained at another time. The night is quickly waning. It is almost time. Take your time to understand this place. We will most certainly meet again," Igor says with a slow wave. The sound of Akira's alarm echoes through the building and causes his legs to give out. "Hurry up and go back to sleep," Caroline orders. He wasn't given a choice, as everything went black while he laid on the cold prison floor. Okay, that's the end of chapter 1. Tell me if that was good. 18 minutes and 43 seconds. Okay. Thanks for watching. Yeah. Bye.